Hi, this is Rick Harsh today with your weather report. It's hot. I don't know where else in Europe it isn't hot. I've heard that in Gaza, which is very close to Europe, very close to Greece, it's extremely hot. Here in Slovenia, it's very hot. It's been hot for almost a week, like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 or so, nega height or mega height or whatever it is. Celsius, Celsius, calcium, it's all hot. Everything's fucking hot. And, uh, people will start ripping each other apart like dogs. That's the forecast. Um, but in the meantime, to prevent some of you from ripping each other apart or ripping me apart, I have a special program, let's call it, on pre-ordering books. Okay, because I have some books. Bended Circuity is in the process of a pre-order, and that started, I guess, in late May, and it looks to me like, and I've been planning this, on September 1st, every effort of the press is going to go towards getting that book printed as soon as possible. Problem is, we'll print 200 books, and that'll be about 1,500 euros, and they'll be gone within 6 months. So we'll have to do it again. I'm going to have to figure out how to manage this. The next book after that, hopefully also in September, is Cactus Boots, which is also out of print. Will also cost about that much. I think it's slightly less, but 1,400. We need to get Cactus back in print as well. How did I get into this situation? Well, I decided after last year, which is a very down year, and we only published, I think, 2 new books, I decided to introduce the microline. And because I had once seen this small, lovely book at my printers, and it has now become the microline. You've seen me show them off. Here's one of the best. I think they're all individual works of art. This is Decreation by Roberto Segroff. Um, this these photos are fantastic, and this is something I would just want to have on hand, whether I liked it or not. Um, Wade Gavin is finally back in print, and I'll say it again. I'm looking for the 3 people who I owe this book to. They ordered it all around the same time. This book suddenly went, uh, well, people started to really notice it and like it. And I didn't realize I had given away so many. I must have printed at least 110, and 10 went to W. Gavin. And so there were 100, and I sold 61 of them, and they were gone. I thought I had a bunch behind some other books on the top shelf, and I didn't. That's what really screwed me. And so 3 people ordered it. They ordered other books. They didn't get this. I owe this to them. I'm trying to find out who they were, and because it's here now, and in Microline as a Corona Samizdat classic, as is Oscar Submerges by Zach Tanner. You've got the dog on top, and the other ones have, the other microlines are like this one here. This is the standard look. Wait, that's upside down. That okay. Another classy one. My mother's cookbook. Feast of the Assumption. You've got photographs by a Ukrainian artist who photographed her own felt rabbits. Um, Look at that. Fantastic stuff. My favorite, because it's mine, Arkapravo Baumik. I've mentioned him a lot, but, I can't mention him enough because he's also doing Skulls, which is coming out later this month, reprinted. Along with some new stuff, there's a Pakistani poet named Shafiq Hasnain. That's going to be a lovely book, and the writing is very, it's exciting. It's prose poetry, I guess you might call it. But yeah, another, Dmitri Kral, Easter by David Vardaman. That's another a Corona Samizdat classic. Oh no! By the way, oh wait, I got it. Okay, I've got something on her phone, my daughter's phone, that I need to read, and I can't have it on my phone because you're my phone. Anyway, just to mention once again, the Sinuous Cafe at the Edge, by the Edge of the Moon, a fantastic short book that's only 350 rupees if you're in India, but it's the standard $10 if you're here. I've heard one or two people say, "Well, they're so small books, you know." Well, tell that to Lawrence Ferlinghetti, tell that to Howell, tell that to Allen Ginsberg. He'll say, meaning bullshit. It's not the size of the book. Sometimes it is the beauty of the book. These are better looking than the City Lights books, but okay. So the thing that I have always hated about pre-orders is that it upsets the natural order, no pun intended, of things, because I just sell books. I'm not great at anything I do except writing. Maybe I might not even be great at that, but I'm not great on the computer. I'm not great with the website. I need help with the website. I've been asked by Zach Tanner to remove the old covers of Oscar Submerges so you can see the new cover. And I will do that, and I think I can do it. I think I know how, but I have to make the cover bigger on the screen. I hope I can figure that out. If I can't, you'll just see little micro photos of the micro line. But what prompted me to do this today was a friend had supported Boundless Publishing Group's Patrick McCabe crowdfunded book. He gave them, I think, 50 quid, they call it, 50 pounds. That's a lot of money, and even in euros, I think it's like 70 or 80. He gave that to them to help crowdfund Patrick McCabe's new book. I don't know what it's called, and I can't really read the writing here very well. But it's now 15 months later, and he's been finding out various things. There's what I have here in front of me is something that he sent me, an announcement he found somewhere. Boundless. The name of the press, Boundless. Why would you name a press Boundless? That's like never gets bound. You do want it to be bound. That's part of publishing. You're I lost it. God damn it. Oh no. Now it's look. That's our dog. You could probably just compare here. That's. Can you see him? Or is there too much reflection? I don't know. Oh no, it went off again. Okay, that's our dog, Gijo, and that's him on the book. Well, good job, Zach. The coloring's a little off, white. Well, he's got a lot of white. Oh, he's gone again. Anyway, publishing, what was it called? Boundless Publishing. I'm going to try to find that thing on my computer because I think that it's important to what I want to tell you. Boundless Publishing Group, okay, it's called. Now, why you want, okay, I think I found it. Boundless shutters after failing. Yeah, I did. I found it just now. Unbelievable. Do not consent. I consent to nothing. Boundless shutters after failing to rescue Unbound. So Boundless Publishing Group and its imprint Neem Tree Press entered liquidation and stopped conducting business as of Friday, ending a months-long effort to rescue the assets of failed crowdfunding publisher Unbound and make restitution to and revive the fortunes of its authors and supporters. So the Patrick McKay book, apparently it did get published, but it wasn't sent to the people who fucking crowdfunded it. They're just screwed now. It's bankruptcy, the second stage of bankruptcy. So you had Boundless is without bounds. Okay, so there's no binding, but what they rescued was they wanted to rescue was Unbound Press. Two stupid names for presses. How about Pageless? How about that? How about Word Free? Word Free Press sounds nice. Sounds like an elite East Coast press. God, the Republicans would hate it. Word Free Press, but Word Free, yeah. Founded by Alfred and Gloria Word Free back in the beginning of the 19th century. Word Free Press. Yeah, okay, anyway, so he paid $50. But here's the part that amazed me. He told me this story, and I thought, geez, that sucks, crowdfunding and so on. Now, what about me? When I take money for these books, I've now got that money, and it's been paid. The post has been paid. That's where I really get screwed, because once the book is ready, I have to send, and my postal bill is going to be huge, because I'll be sending, like, I don't know how many people have ordered it so far, but 50, 70. So, times 16 to 26, depending what all they put in there. I have to keep it all in good order and so on. There's some free books that I'm throwing in. I'm limiting that to one after this, by the way. I've got to. I'm running out of books. Simple as that. So the postal problem, it's just too damn much money at one time. I pay my postal bill once a month in the first week, and and it's okay. It's always okay, because if I have a bad month, it's low, and so I don't have a lot of money to pay it, but I have it. And if I have a good month, I have more money, and so I can pay it. But in between, we have to make all these decisions about what to print. And my decision at the beginning of the year was, we're going to print a lot of books. We're going to print the microlines. People are going to love them. They'll be works of art. I don't know if everyone loves them. I know some who've, one person, one of our own, has indicated that he doesn't really like them. Other than that, I've had nothing but good comments, but not a shitload of them. And I'm not seeing people say, I got to get all the microlines, which is what I thought would happen. There are some, and it will grow. And this is allowing us to put more interesting things into print. We're late with the translation of Adolfo Villafuerte's book, Entre Lunes. I don't remember even what the translation is, but I'm not sure it was literal. Anyway, that's ready to go. But we're not ready to print. We're getting 4 more books into print this month, maybe 5, not sure. One is going to be with a DVD. It's a beautiful cover by a sound poet. And so we've got the book. It's a beautiful book, large size, so there's a lot of space for the poetry. But it also has a DVD with it if you want it. You don't have to order the DVD, but I recommend it, because it shows, it's a poetry that's best seen, experienced. I think you get the same with the South American, what is his name? wacky, funny, subversive guy from Chile. Well, anyway, not Pablo Neruda. He was wacky. He was funny, but that wouldn't be the first thing you'd say, you know. Anyway, this other guy, whose name should never escape me, but did. So, where were we? Yeah. So the numbers. So we're talking about two books because now people are ordering Cactus and it's out of print. So perhaps 20 people have ordered it without getting it, and they're being told, it'll be at best late September, I think. But we'll get it done. It will happen. We cannot go out of print because we can't spend more money than we have. And so, which is what often leads to bankruptcy. So here, we have the liquidation eliminates any remaining hope for the 238 authors and agents. 238. We've got two. I mean, if a tornado came in right now today and ripped apart my whatever, I wouldn't call this a business. If a tornado came in right now and just ripped the place up, two authors would be screwed. And fewer than 100 people who paid. But I wouldn't go out of business. I would, make sure we paid them. We will pay them. But we won't pay them. We're going to give them their books. So the liquidation eliminates any remaining hope for the 238 authors and agents who are owed £657 by Unbound. My friend is one of them. They owe him £50, but £657,000 were taken in, and nearly 8,000 customers, mine is under 100, owed $391,000 for pre-ordered books. So that 50 is part of this number. $391,000 for pre-ordered books, and trade creditors, whatever the fuck they are, owed they're apparently parasites, because what you see here is that trade creditors are owed £829,000 when the original company collapsed in March. So the company collapsed. They accumulated nearly £1 million in further debt, and it remained collapsed. But listen to this. It is with deep sadness that I share the news that both Boundless Publishing Group and Neem Tree Press are being placed into liquidation, CEO Archana Sharma said in an August 1st statement. This is not the outcome I had hoped for. I poured my heart into rescuing Unbound through Boundless Publishing Group and, of course, in building Neem Tree Press over a number of years, championing wonderful authors. Mr. Sharma doesn't feel so good. Let's see if they mention what happens to Mr. Sharma. Sharma said Mrs. Sharma, Miss Sharma, fought as hard as I could through a challenging acquisition, a restructuring process, and an unforgiving economic climate. That's true. England's climate is horrible, their economic climate. Then again, with leaders like Keir Starmer, they're lucky that anybody can get a loaf of bread. That guy is such a fucking creep. Completely corrupt, without ideas. He's labor, and he supports the genocide in Gaza. Coward. He's a coward. There, first thing he did in office was screw old people with the. They have in England a elderly fuel supplement of some kind, and he cut that. The first thing he did when he got in power in a bad economic climate was to make it worse for the old people. What a fucking idiot. They went back on that now. They somehow realized it wasn't a good idea. I I don't know much about England's politics and economics, but I could have told you that. Fucking pigs, just pigs. They got so many millionaires there. All they have to do is raise taxes 2 or 3% on their millionaires, and all of their economic problems will be solved immediately, like that, like that. That was better, like that. But they will not do it because what if the millionaires leave? Well, fucking good riddance, you know. Appropriate every cent you can before they go. Fuck them. Eat them. Eat the rich. Kill the rich. Who's that guy? Luigi? Anyway, or is that Chuck Mangione? I don't know who killed the executive. Was that Chuck Mangione? I think it was. I don't know why I keep thinking Luigi. Well, maybe Luigi and Chuck did it together. So she's pretty upset, and they acquired Unbound's assets for £50,000 through the new company, which took on no legal obligation for the predecessor's debts. Oh, there you go. That's my friend's money. They're saying, we're going to take the assets, but we're not going to take the debts. So they paid this little bit of money for this big consortium. Apparently, it's a consortium, and they immediately structured into the deal. Fuck all the crowdfunders. Unbelievable, unbelievable. And I don't see. Okay, what's next? I don't see anything about how much money Sharma is going to make as the continuing CEO of something or other. But yeah, Patrick McCabe was the author of The Butcher Boy, and he had a new book coming out, and that's what my friend was supporting, Patrick McCabe's book, and these wonderful people who published such thing as Patrick McCabe's book. Patrick McCabe has got nothing to do with this. It wasn't his idea. You know, he's probably got an agent, yeah. But yeah, that was the one that it was a new one by Patrick McCabe. I don't know which one, what it's called, but it did come out, and the crowdfunders didn't get it. All totally fucking corrupt, and so that's what I hate about crowdfunding. One of the things I hate is that when it doesn't work, you know, what do you get? The other thing I don't like about some crowdfunding is that, you know, a new book will come out, and if you want to get the book, you just give a certain amount of money. You're helping a small press. You're getting a unique book, and what some of the crowdfunding presses do is they print as many as they can. They have a target, like let's say they choose 170 or something. They get their 170, they're done, and that means the book is not really in print anymore. It's temporarily in print for 170 people who paid a little bit more than they should, but I got nothing against that. You know, people like to help small presses. I've seen that. I've experienced it firsthand, and I've experienced years of generosity, and recently extraordinary generosity from some people. I'm not talking 800 pounds, but you know, let's face it. When you ask the public for money, you say, if you can afford it and all those nice things, and somebody gives you 30 euros, that's really nice. It's really nice. You know, that's, let's say, a Bended Circuity, it's 20 euros plus 16.75. So 30 euros is almost an entire Bended Circuity plus the insane postal rate. And you'll probably get a free book in there anyway. So, you know, but you're not going to be getting as many in the future. You'll be getting some, I have to keep doing it because post is still shit. You'll probably be getting a lot of microlines, so I hope you like them. But then I'm going to run out of microlines. I'm already running low on the lift. I must have put some somewhere, and I don't know where. I'll find them, or else I'll print more. I don't know. But the point is, it could be worse. The point is, you will get this. It's honest. We are honest. I think my 5+ years of good relations with readers will testify to that. But I'm not here to say that. I'm here to say, fuck, this is just insane what's going on with some of it. If you got the choice between some British consortium and some child with cancer, go with the child. And if it's Gaza, go with Gaza. If it's, I don't want to get started on Gaza. Anyway, thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for cluing me into this nightmare. And those of you who have ordered my books, we are going to get them to you, and we'll do it as soon as possible. The reason that they aren't ready now is because we're doing many things at once, and that's for the long-term health of the press. So a lot of writers have been waiting a long time. We have Luke Dellin, who wrote Orbo and The Godhead. Luke Dellin has been waiting a year and a half, and I'm really happy that we're finally getting his book out. And so we've got Shakir Hasnain, Luke Dellin, Dirk Hilstrunk, that's the German poet, Luke, Shakir, Rick Harsch, Skulls of Istria. Took a long time to get rid of them. I must have published a shitload, but they sold well, and we got to fix a little typo in the beginning of it, or a typographical thing. And Zach Tanner is hoping to finish his next novel by the end of the month. I told him, yeah, I'd love it, but I don't want to put pressure on him. So I said, look, if you can get it to me before September, we can do it. If not, it has to be after A Bended Circuity and Cactus. Zach said, before. And I said, great. I'm really looking forward to that. I think it'll be very helpful for everybody. By the way, there was a mistake. Oscar was not available until now because Zach let me know that there was something wrong. And what was wrong is I didn't put the correct quantity into the catalog. It was still at 0, which was referring to the old Cactus. And there are none of those, but there are 160 or 70 of these. So we've got plenty. Please order this book. It's great. Look at that. All right, I got to go. Bye.